From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
I want to talk, but I don't want to talk. Ruining pod. Blowing pod.
Burning pod. Burning pod.
Did you see I made it almost till noon for Jeff's season goal? His annual.
Oh, I did actually.
It was terrible.
Right on the front porch steps. At least you were close. Like you don't want to be far. You don't want to be far from home.
No, the nice thing was I just missed the bottom step, so it was low threshold.
He just kept going.
I remember one time when I was in the Air Force. I was living in Nebraska, and
I was going to say by choice, but it's Air Force, so no.
Yeah, and I was, I'm still learning to deal with ice and snow and everything that comes with living in Nebraska, and I'm wearing my dress blues, and I walk out of my house, and I distinctly remember the vision, just walking down my stairs, of my feet silhouetted against the sky, and I just immediately thought, I'm going to break my back and land when I land on these concrete steps. And
dress blues are not exactly
no,
ice.
Yeah.
Performance.
And it's the infamous "God loves fools, drunks in the military." Because
they have you in those special shoes.
Well, they were just leather bottomed, dress shoes,
smooth sole.
Yeah. And I remember I got my hand back there and I still hit, and it knocked the wind out of me for a second. It was just one of those.
I'm gonna feel this later.
I'm gonna be here for a little bit. I'm just
So I hired this one kid directly out of school. He went to Clemson, grew up in South Carolina the whole time. And it snows. We're up in New Jersey. And it's like 11 o'clock.
Does he still work for you?
No, yeah. He's a good guy.
Okay, because I've got a Clemson joke when you're done.
No, he's a good guy. I make fun of Clemson too, though. So I call him at like 11 o'clock. And he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm home. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah, that's not what I pay you to do.
And I'm like, why aren't you here? And he's like, here where? I'm like, at work. He's like, this shit's drivable? I'm like, yeah. Darsh is here, who's a very small, petite woman that's, And I'm like, everybody's here. He's like, I didn't know this was drivable. I'm like, get in your car and drive. So then he comes in and he's like, I never knew that water could freeze outside of a freezer. I'd never seen it before. And I'm just like, oh, baby bird. Anyway.
Well, in his defense, because a lot of people are like, oh, you Southern people don't know how to drive.
They don't.
Southern snow is completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Southern snow,
it's ice.
Sometimes it's very slushy. It's not drivable. And then my dad grew up in New Jersey, my stepdad. And I'm like, how come when I was a kid, I'm like, how come you don't drive? You grew up in this. And he goes, yeah, I know how to drive. He goes, no one else here does. I'm not driving in this stuff. You people, these people are crazy. So, most Yankees, I do remember I had a guy when I retired to Georgia living across the street from me. And he was like, yeah, it's ridiculous. We blah, da, 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 da. We wouldn't even bring the plows out for this sort of thing. And he's just complaining. And I'm like, so what you're saying is, he was just mad that everybody was home because it snowed like 3 inches. And I'm like, so what you're saying is you as a homeowner in this state want your property taxes to go to snowplows that will get used once every 2 years.
Maybe.
You want to pay for this? You moved here for a reason. Enjoy the day off and quit complaining.
No, we were driving through the South. We were driving through the South and
Tennessee
at one point. Right. And I passed one of the really big plow trucks dropping salt at 70 miles an hour. He passed me. He was dropping it at 70 miles an hour. Salt. It was
And
bouncing all over. I said, it does nothing.
you
It's
know how
all
much
over the
salt
place.
stayed on the street? 0.
I've lost in Nebraska. I remember losing windshields that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Anyway, all right, you guys ready? Because if we keep talking, we're going to blow the entire pod.
Okay.
You're already recording.
I am recording. We might do that. All right. Welcome to the Garage Heroes and Training Podcast. Miss Vicki, we have a guest.
Yes.
I'm Bill, by the way. Anyway, he holds the record for longest Garage Heroes and Training podcast ever.
That's what's true.
Jeff didn't beat me. I really
No.
thought Jeff beat me.
No.
Dang. All right.
Nope. You are still the only 3+ hour guest we've ever had. So if you know him, you know this isn't going to be short. If you don't know him, it's not going to be short. Welcome back to the podcast, Mental Ward.
I thank you. I'm very happy to be here. That is also just a reflection on how interesting you are. Maybe I'm the only guest that just recognizes how absolutely wonderful it is to talk to you two.
Checks in the mail, buddy.
So if I wasn't going for a run after this, I would be wearing my Garage Heroes hoodie.
That's fine. Well, there's no need to wear a hoodie where you're at. There's plenty of need to wear a hoodie where I'm at.
All week it has been, we had one nice day, but all week it has been rainy and I'm going to say cold, and everyone on the East Coast is going to laugh at me, but it's cold for us. It is 60? That's the high today, 62.
What
and
town
cloudy.
and city?
Las Vegas. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay,
It has. Was I in Las Vegas last time I was on the show? Goodness, it's been that long.
It has.
My gosh. Yes. So yeah, 7 years ago we moved here. Almost 7 years.
Yep. So mental. I have no guide. I have no outline. I strictly have pull string on Mental's back and watch him go. And we are entitled to this. We miss Mental. Because we haven't seen you in so long.
I know why you didn't. I was hoping to see you guys at New Hampshire last year.
Mm-hmm. No.
I was looking forward to it, but yes, I know you guys made a great appearance the next week at Summit Point.
That was so freaking funny. That weekend was awesome.
Yes. Anytime you start involving Eric in your themes,
100%.
Just you talk about, wind him up and then get out of the way. Eric is so much fun to work with, and he is unbelievable. You could just give him the most obscure theme. It's an eclair, and it lives in Alaska, and it fights demons, and he will write a script, and it will be a award-winning theme. Love that.
The
guy.
only thing we didn't do was Eric didn't bring a guitar. And I went to the local thrift store / pawn shop, whatever you want to call it, in Virginia, and they were closed. I was going to get us a guitar, and we were gonna do the guitar scene from this. We did Airplane the movie in case the people were keeping score at home.
I'm sorry, you won Halloween Meets Gasoline by doing Yes.
We had so many people involved.
So many. I mean, surely we had to win.
It's interesting. You're seeing that as a trend is multiple teams getting involved on the same theme. And I don't know how sustainable it is, but it is definitely always fun to watch. I got to be a part of Hangar 13 in Colorado last year, and we did Spaceballs and then Price is Right. At 2 separate events at High Plains Raceway, and the Price is Right brought in the Savage Orchid, who is a Halloween Meets Gasoline powerhouse in Colorado. And now that Chris and Chrissy are in Colorado with Hangar 13, I would look to see truly just I'd be like grand production level. Monument Valley style production,
SAG card earning,
out of those crews.
There is rumor that if you remember Brad, who raced with us a couple times, affectionately known as Baby Bird, he moved out to Denver as well, and he's going to do his first season racing as well.
He's been out there for quite a while.
Yeah, but he's finally settled to the point where he's like, I'm in.
Oh, if you guys have done so many great tracks, but you haven't done High Plains, have you?
No, I drove by it like 4 times, but I never got onto it.
Oh, it is, Glenn, it's such a, it is unique in its creation where it is. But the Glenn and the staff out there, it is so much fun. And it is it really does embody the entire kind of racing community there in the paddock, because you are 30 minutes from anything.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Wow.
I mean, there's nothing on the horizon.
Nope.
It's, yeah. A lot of tracks are like, oh, you're 20 minutes in the middle of nowhere. You start in the middle of nowhere to get the High Plains. You take a left and then drive for another 30, 45 minutes. But the result is just a great community. That whole racing community out there. Jeff Hanka, Jan and Tom Webb, the Apex adjacent guys, Ian and Dave,
Never had those
tell you
guys
the
on
same
yet.
thing.
We need to get them on.
Mm-hmm.
They're
fun. And and you want to talk about obscure music, man. Oof, Ian will learn you. Every time I hang out with him, I have to have a note open on my phone and write down bands that I want to listen to.
I have a band theme that I want to do that nobody's willing to do, so I'm probably going to have to bring it to somebody else that's dumber than my team. So they just refuse.
Is it a movie that had a sequel last year?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a music video. They still make those,
All right.
I'll send it to you in the chat.
Julian Cordell tagged me in a Facebook post. MTV is shutting down like half of their music only channels.
Yeah, I think they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not done as an entity, but music television. I think the YouTube model probably works out better for the artist anyway.
They played Video Killed the Radio Stars, their last song.
Yeah.
And it did.
It's hard just to get people to sit down and watch something like that anymore.
Well, also,
I think sit.
I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is they quit doing that. That, I remember you would just put on MTV for noise while you're in the house, and
it was like a radio.
And now I do the same thing with YouTube.
Yeah,
and and MTV was, they just kept creating celebrities out of people that you wouldn't like in regular life.
Yep. And we had original and different varieties of music. It was weird.
Yes.
And also, if you think about it too, I mean, now you can get whatever you want on demand when MTV was really not.
And that's why I say YouTube's a
better
model,
pie.
Every time the video plays on YouTube, they get paid. So good.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, it was kind of the record companies would use it as free marketing, and now they choose not to market. But anyway, this is so much to do with racing. So much.
Yes.
So much.
Yes. Welcome
Strap
to
in, people.
Studio Heroes.
Studio 55, because we can't drive. 55. See what I did there? Look at that. Miss Vicki, your car is still backwards, by the way.
I keep trying to flip it.
Well, flip it and not me.
Yeah.
All right, Mental. I've got some things that we've already talked about that I think we need to talk about. Mental Ward. We have been mostly East Coast with a good deal of Midwest. You being judgmental, which is
judgmental,
tremendous.
It's funny. People still just I
just get it.
3 races when Eric finally went, I just got that, and I'm I figured you had it out of the.
I figured that's why he called you that.
I still get that.
Judgmental.
If you've never listened, I am retired Air Force. Mental was my call sign. My last name is Ward. I've been mental longer than I've been a judge.
Well, it's a choice between, is judgmental better or Mental Ward? They're both good. Both good. So we have this thing. We're going to try to hit some more tracks out west. And I've got a small list, but you've got the whole list because you've been to many/most/almost all.
Yes.
What's on our bucket? How big a bucket do we need, and which ones should be in there?
You want to do Sonoma.
Sonoma?
Yeah, I've judged Sonoma, or they call it, is it Sears Point? It's not even Sears Point anymore.
Not anymore.
Somebody bought them. It's Sonoma. Sonoma Raceway. I think they still says that over the sign. And I had judged Sonoma for like the last, I want to say I've judged Sonoma now for 5 years and had never driven it until Albert Weitzer raffled off the infamous Race Rambler.
Mhm.
and a team out here, Stephanie Osborne. She's part of the. They changed
Osborne
their name
Klein?
a lot, but they're just known as the Dangle Camaro team.
Okay.
Wonderful group of folks, and she won it. And there could not be a better custodian of the Rambler than Stephanie. And so she invited me and Tim and Corey all to drive it. So I got a chance to drive that. So that was my first time actually driving Sonoma. Great track.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um,
We have the Ridge on our end.
Oh yeah. Well, the Ridge is not on the schedule.
It's still a bucket.
No.
No. And I do not want to air any dirty laundry, but they've got new management, and
Oh no.
their management is made some
Real racers.
no. They've made some demands on the crowd that runs Lemons, and
Not it.
Lemons kind of doesn't need to put up with a bunch of crap, and they don't like their racers being abused, and they don't like being nickeled and dimed, and so they went to Pacific Raceways in
Yeah.
Kent, which is
It's supposed to be
also
nice.
it's a very small track. Literally, you are surrounded by houses on all sides, so their
Oh.
noise abatement is ruthless, understandably so.
Yeah.
But like so many great little small tracks, wonderful staff, interesting track. And I've judged a bunch of Midwest races, but Kent, Washington change. That is the most laid back group of racers ever. We had, I think, we had a total of 5 cars over the weekend that hit 3 penalties.
Wow.
Yeah, just
That's
we,
like 10
we
minutes
went
at NJMP.
hours with no one in penalty.
Well, I don't think NJP's ever gone 10 minutes without a penalty.
Hmm.
No, a bit part of it was a small crowd, but also part of it is just the attitude. A lot of Canadians came down. Great time. Wonderful, wonderful.
Did they apologize when they got a penalty?
They really, really did. They-
Did you see Iowa? I think it was Iowa. I might have the wrong state. They passed a law that if you move into a track that's been there before you,
yes, I
Tough-
did. It was Iowa. I love it. Now
tough melons.
they have circle tracks, and I do. I wish more states would adopt that, not just with racetracks, but also with airports and Air Force bases.
No, what was it? What was the ruling?
If the track is there before you moved in, you don't get to sue.
Tough.
You
Yeah,
move next to a
well,
racetrack.
Well, duh.
Suck it.
Racetracks
Suck it
make
up.
noise. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what you bought.
Right.
Yeah.
And but
But that
you've
doesn't
got
affect anybody else.
Road Atlanta has been battling for decades. They've encroachment. People have been sneaking up. The whole saga of Laguna Seca.
I was going to say they're probably the most persecuted.
Yes, and there are some other. It wasn't really a noise problem, but we lost Fontana Auto Club Speedway last year, which is a shame because that was a great track. So it's a little bit. I say it's a little bit more common sense. I'm not saying lay a racetrack down in the middle of a neighborhood, but come on, man.
If you build a neighborhood around the racetrack, surprise, you bought in cheaper because it's near a racetrack.
Yeah, Cletus McFarland is dealing with that. With he bought an abandoned, rundown, closed racetrack, and now they're building neighborhoods around it. And he's trying to get the zoning change because he rejuvenated that area and he's created an entire wonderful place where people together and do dumb things with cars. And now he's got neighborhoods encroaching in on that, and it's not fair.
Exceptionally. So I think, this is where we need to have our moment of silence over pit race.
Which had nothing to do with noise.
That's okay.
Yes,
I just
know. It
I
is-
just like poking the sore. Makes me feel pain.
No, I will not understand that. It does not make sense to me. It was profitable. It was a great community partner. People around the area liked it. Now they're going to deal with buzz and hum. And it's not like Wampum, Pennsylvania did not have an abundance of unused land or abandoned industrial parks anywhere else. That was just, it's a heartbreak. I feel bad for Randy and Al.
The Bish.
And that whole community out there. Those were the type of people that made up that racing community, and they were wonderful custodians of that, and they got betrayed.
Yeah, quite a bummer. Hopefully it turns around, but I doubt it. It doesn't seem like it.
Nope. That's
All right.
yeah. If
So
you have not seen the New Hampshire wrap up video, we have a bit of a
I have not.
joke about Pittsburgh in there.
Did they do Summit Point yet?
Oh yeah. Oh no, the wrap up. No, I don't think they have.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So we got three on our list. We got Sonoma, the Ridge, Pacific. You already know, and the reason it's not on the list,
Mhm.
we've already done Laguna.
You've done? Yes. Great
So
time.
not a bucket list. It's a redo list, but it's not a bucket list.
The other one, and you will find differing opinions on this, but I will say Button Willow.
Really?
The butt. And here's
The butt.
the butt. Here's the thing is like I've invited people out there, like Chris and Chrissy came out there, and it was just so hot. And it was hot even for Button Willow. And Button Willow is usually a hot race.
Mhm.
And it was dusty and there were fires, so you could kind of chew on the air for a little bit. So it was like the worst weekend for them to be out there. But I also Button Willow it's a fun track. It is a club owned track, so it's not a corporate.
Is that the one that
entity.
just got acquired?
No. This one's they just expanded actually after
Somebody
about
just
10
bought a
years.
SoCal track.
Hmm. Oh, Willow Springs.
Willow Spring. Oh, too many
Yes.
willows.
But Button Willow is another one of these great tracks. They have expansive paddock area. They've got a lot of garages, and there's still people ended up in the dirt. But also because you're out in the middle of nowhere, it is a great event. People just have fun. The
Oh yeah, that's the super flat one, right?
yes, they have two
Yeah.
artificial hills. It's like NOLA and MSR Houston. They just we need a hill. Build a hill. We'll pave over it.
Just throw one in there.
We'll make one. What could
Yes.
go wrong?
Yeah. But it's a there's a group of LA firefighters that come out to every year. And this is the race that they do. They bring like 4 or 5 RVs, all their families, their kids, everything. They assemble a bar, and then the bar is open all weekend, and they just provide everybody with free drinks, and then you tip. And at the end of the weekend, they donate the tips to the charity. Which is
fantastic.
always a great time. And if we do it right, usually if I'm not judging, I'm running with Sorry for Party, and we are pitted. Our garages are right across the street from from their bar. So it's great. This year we had, I had a couch that a friend of mine needed to get rid of. So I threw it in my RV and I took it with me, and we woke up on Sunday morning, and there was a guy just asleep on our couch because he had been at the bar and was going to stumble back to his RV and decided the couch was far enough.
It's close enough. All right. What about Thunderhill? That's on our list.
Oh yes. And of course the 25.
Hopefully.
Yes. Oh no, there's no hope. That is the 25 hours of Thunderhill brought to you by the 24 hours of Lemons, because NASA moved their 25-hour race to Ozarks. But after years of loyalty from Thunderhill.
You know what we need to do, Mental? Thunderhill 25.
Yes.
Both ways.
Sure.
It needs to happen.
Yeah. They did that.
They did that 3 ways,
yeah,
right? They did
yeah.
forwards, backwards, and then half track or something.
Yeah.
I was so into going, but
Thunderhill's and you would meet a lot of your fan base out there, because there's a lot of folks. Gosh,
we haven't paid anybody out on the West Coast that I know of.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you'd had some people on your show. My commute is so short. I don't listen to nearly the podcasts that I used to. I have to binge them all when I drive.
When you drive to a race, yeah. Well, it's not like there's only one racing podcast in the world either. It's like they're like mushrooms. Whoop, here's another one. Yeah. Okay,
absolutely good. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'm in. I listen to them at 2x. I found an app
fill
that does
all of my
3x
media
now.
with nothing but racing. It's great.
Exactly. I don't even hit anything else. I got racing and chess now, and I'm full.
There it
I'm
is.
falling behind on all my other stuff, but damn it, I know how to get checkmated. I mean, wait, I know how. No. Okay. Anything else? We got those 5 right now. Anything else that we need? Anything else that's clawing at you?
Well, and again, it doesn't, I don't know if it counts as a race, but as a West Coast track rather, but yeah, High Plains.
High
And they do
Plains.
2 races at High Plains. They'll do the regular, I
Hmm.
believe in June, and then the 24 in September.
Why don't you do the 24 in June when you have all the sun?
Because it's hot and miserable. And they have
Yeah,
to
well,
truck in all their
There you
water.
go.
yeah, there's that. Okay. All right, so that's our list right now. All right. Before Miss Vicky got on, Mental and I started blowing pod, and we were talking about his 912 versus his Miata. So I figured what could go wrong with the discussion comparing a Miata to a Porsche? Nothing on the internet is going to come out of this.
Oh no, I know absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt it was a step backwards, and I don't care.
Why don't you care?
Um, so I
So you're
have
talking an ND Miata versus your 912
yes,
for the
yes.
for the
I'm sorry, my
scorekeepers at home.
1968, not original at all, Porsche 912. Let's see if I can do this properly. I need to go through my photos because oddly enough, I don't keep one on my phone,
It's an audio
or rather, I don't
podcast,
keep a
Mental.
copy of it. I
He's
don't
going
keep
to
it on
show
my
us.
computer. I know. I'm trying to. So no. You might know this. There was a band in the '80s called Wire Train, and they had a couple of decent hits. They were when you had all of these independent record labels that got
Hmm.
acquired by IRS in the '80s because underground and alternative was a cool thing. They were part of that, and they were even on American Bandstand. And a guy named Kevin Hunter was the lead on this one, and he is a Porsche guy. He had a 914. He had this 912. He got it without a motor, and he put a 914 motor in it. So it's a 2 liter Type 4 motor in the back of a 1968 912. And my friend ended up with it, and he had the engine rebuilt and then offered it to me. And I sold my Indy Miata, which was a perfect car by every measure,
Hmm.
to get this 912 because we don't make good decisions. We're
As
gearheads.
as long as you fit in it, it is the perfect car.
Yes. Yes. And it was because people like, how do you get, and like in that car, I fit just fine. Getting in and out, I feel my age every time.
It's a little
But
lotus position, and then a
yeah,
little. Yeah.
I was driving onto the track one time, and Stacy, the gate guard, I was doing and I pulled in and I got out and I had to hug her and say hello, and then she laughed at me because I get into sports cars nowadays like a 55-year-old.
Hmm.
I walk to the door, I turn my back to the door, and then I sit down and then
Hmm.
swing my legs into the car. It's the same way I get into the Porsche.
At least you don't have
And
to unscrew your legs or anything to get in, so you're
yeah,
doing okay.
yeah. So we did that, and the Porsche is no better about that one, but it is just way, way, way slower. Has no heat, no air conditioning, no radio, no cruise control, 4 speeds.
4?
Four. That's all. In
Oof.
fact, yeah. And I know this because the gearbox is completely scattered completely across my workbench right now because I
No.
am trying to get it rebuilt so that I can drive it to work next week.
I learned how to drive on a 3-speed. Oof,
Yeah.
man, not good.
So, yep. But as I mentioned, I have a short commute to work. So I drove it. I drive it to work. It's great. I have never, not one time, gotten in this car and driven it anywhere and not gotten a thumbs up or a wave or a honk or somebody just saying, "Hey man, cool car." It has never been restored, and nothing on the car is original. Just it is for 58-ish years. Just been people just fix it and keep driving it. It been in some kind of accident because my driver's side door doesn't fit very right. It's not the original color. The interior's all been redone, but it I've had to do some wiring on it. That's always fun because a wire that runs from the length of the car will change color 6 times because someone had to splice in something. I recently committed the same sin because the driver's side brake light wasn't working.
Mhm.
And I was chasing the wire and I couldn't find out where the short was. So finally I just ran another wire. Just random blue wire that I had. I ran it to the taillight and made it work. So I've contributed to the chaos on this one, but this car it missed all of the Miami Vice Gimbala slant nose craze that ate up so many 912s. It
Mhm.
was never turned into a 911 RSR tribute. It was not turned into a clone of anything. It's just been a 912 its whole life, and it just keeps going. And I had all these ideas about what I was going to do to it, and then I got it, and you can feel the personality of this car. And yeah, I love it. And I was joking. I've driven it to California a few times, and my wife said, stop collecting tickets because I got one on the Miata. No, I never got a ticket in the Miata. I got a ticket in the Mercedes, and I got a ticket in the pickup when I was doing an engine swap one time.
Mhm.
But, and I joked that it's not fast enough to get a speeding ticket. And then last year I did get a speeding ticket, about 200 feet from my house,
Oh, wow.
in a
Wow.
25 zone. I was doing 35.
So you got yourself a vintage car.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I will. I'll send you guys a picture. But
Awesome.
as you
What
mentioned,
year
this
is
is
yours?
1968. As you mentioned, though, I'm doing terrible potting because you guys are looking at me while I scroll through my phone trying
That's
to
fine.
find, a picture of which I have a stack of them, but I'm also terrible about organizing all of my pictures.
You can make
Reminds me a
albums,
little bit of like a James Bond car.
Mm.
A little bit.
It's
It's right.
It just reminds me
Years.
of the era. Well, it just
oh,
reminds me of the
absolutely the
era
era.
of,
100%.
that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Indeed. So mental, I've got a problem, and
You,
you're the man to solve
oh,
it.
that has never been true, but thank you.
That's it's the best transition I can come up with on short notice.
Hmm.
That works.
So here it is. I have a 2009 Cayman S.
Yes.
No fizz.
Well, and it's probably applies more to Vicki than to you. You can't help who you and what you love.
Mm. Yeah, Vicky chose poorly. I mean, thank you,
What?
but
Oh yeah, no, we all knew that. Don't act surprised,
coverage
Vicki.
is way down there.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
tell him what we just purchased.
Oh, you know what we just did?
Ooh,
We
no.
need we needed a winter car. Our daughter was
Yes.
coming back,
Just around town
and we
in
had
our
we had
winter area.
little need to, Vicky drives her Integra Type S, but we don't want to use that in the winter, and
Yes.
it's not great. And I've got the Cayman S, which I use in the summer, and don't want to use that in the winter either. So I saw, for the low price of $10,000, a Fiesta ST,
Oh yes.
top tune ECU,
Ooh.
and coilovers, and like a $4,000 exhaust, brand new. Like the exhaust is brand new. Like I still smell the exhaust burning in.
Garage
Okay.
kept.
Yeah, no rust.
This is why I'm terrible to ask this question to, because yeah, I'll tell you my answer right now. Absolutely.
No, I know that was it. But I'm wondering why the Cayman S doesn't do anything for me. Eric Kritzler says I need to take it on track before I get rid of it.
He's right, but I mean, it's also like asking, oh, why don't you like vanilla over strawberry? Why don't you like, this flavor over that flavor? Look, man, it
No fizz.
it doesn't scratch the itch.
No,
And somebody out there that Cayman will absolutely scratch that itch, and they should.
it should. It's a great car.
Yes.
I mean, the
Ooh,
guy who had it before
right.
me was a local PCA
Yeah.
president chapter,
Can you
and
can you turn on sharing?
just did.
Okay, cool. So
And he took care of it and then
yeah.
bequeathed it onto me. I bought it from a dealer down here. Oh, there's the Mental's car.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, so it's sort of an outlaw. I've
A
I've
little
done
bit.
the wheels though. I've got the wheels back to stock.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is the car.
Looks
That's
like
my
we're
Oh, I
going to have a
like the
video
dots are
podcast.
fun.
Yeah. So
Video
well,
podcast.
and if
This will be
if
on about a
yeah.
half hour in, guys.
if it's on our socials. I've posted multiple pictures. There was an adventure where I drove out to Judge Jeff's birthday 50th birthday party last year, and it died halfway back from the Bay Area. And I sat on the side of the road for 6 hours arguing with my roadside assistants.
Yeah.
And ended up having to find a local specialist there in Morgan Hill that rebuilt the carbs for it. So, yeah.
Carbs are a skill that's dying.
This was, so it's got a set of Webers on it, and the previous owner had fought it, and I had a heck of a time getting it through emissions, and finally did. And then and I was basically taking the plugs out once a month and cleaning them because they would foul. And then they fouled within a couple 100 miles. And this guy, BSM Motorsports in Morgan Hill, California, the guy is a Weber whisperer, and he took them all apart and he held up the jets and he looked at them and went, "Those aren't 125 or 025s," even though they were labeled as such. Somebody drilled them out, which is why we were setting them up for that. And they kept flooding everything. And it just took this guy that was that deep into it. So he put the proper jets in it. And then I got extra tall air cleaners and velocity stacks, and it runs really smooth right up until the gearbox fell apart.
Because bigger is not always better.
No, absolutely not. Especially when you're trying to tune for one thing. And, and that's just the curse of a car this old. You're dealing with all the mods that they did. So Eric is right. Take your Cayman S, put it on the track, have fun with it, and you will probably be very impressed with it. But if you don't love it, you don't love it. Caymans are wonderfully capable vehicles.
They are.
And really, so are Boxsters, which, people want to try and delineate. There's no difference between a Boxster and a Cayman other than the roof.
Just the top.
But anyway, great, wonderful mid-engine car. Chris and Chrissy, they found a wonderful deal on their Boxster, and I drove it, and it's a cool car. It still is, because they sold it locally in Pennsylvania. Great car. They did the right upgrades on the seats. Everything was great on that car, but they did not love it. And and I loved my ND, and I really thought I would hold on to it until it died. But the opportunity for this car came along, and it just oozes personality. So that one, I think the Fiesta ST is for that kind of money, because if it's the same situation with the Cayman, you can turn around and sell it again if you don't love it. But
I like it.
Fiesta STs are super fun. I've had two friends that had them, and if you remember the old original GTIs or the DSM coupes, there used to be a thing called torque steer on high performance front wheel drive cars where it would wrestle the wheel from you.
Yep.
And I think the Fiesta ST is probably the last car that still has that.
Mine doesn't have a lot. Although it's right now, to be fair, I've been driving it on snow tires, so the tires will start spinning before any torque steer comes into play.
Yes,
because I think they said this is like 350 to the wheel.
Yeah, and if anyone has just discovered this podcast and they're like, oh my God, that Cayman would absolutely, destroy the Fiesta ST on the track. Probably, but
might not be more fun though.
That you're not going to be grinning nearly as hard.
Yeah.
And, and you guys have driven all manner of everything on a track, and rear-wheel drive is fun because you can hang the rear end out, and like the, Vicky's Miata back there, you hang the rear end out, a little bit of throttle. Okay, it's cool, and you can correct the trajectory. But on a mid-engine car, you're just asking for a spin. And on a front-wheel drive car, you just back off the throttle a little bit and it'll line itself back up, and then mash the throttle, and you still get the smoky tire exit out of a corner.
Yeah, indeed. I don't know. Miss Vicki, are you a front wheel drive or a rear wheel drive right now? What are you thinking on track?
I like them both now.
Really? I thought you were on the, I thought you were firmly aligned with Jen in like last year for the front wheel drive.
No, they're just different.
They are.
They're just different.
But they're not that different.
No, ideally, I would like to be able to kind of do a few more fun things with the front wheel drive, a little bit more like not skid paddy things, but being able to rotate or learn how to do more things with it, maneuvering it.
And I think that's always the argument of front versus rear, because your front is going to be a little more forgiving. Okay, I've come into this corner too hot. I want to, I'm just going to push the throttle and have it pull me through the corner. And, rear wheel drive. Okay. And it's a delicate kind of balance, but it's this great kind of fundamental transition as a racing driver when you stop looking at the pedals as devices to change your forward momentum and you start effectively using them as devices to aid in changing the direction of the car. And the same thing with the wheel. The wheel now becomes not just an aid in changing the direction of the car, but also a device with which you can control your forward momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And with a rear wheel drive car, once you've made that shift, you have more options. It's much more nuanced and it's much more balanced. And you have to get to developing that sense.
Mm-hmm.
See,
But you
our
have more
team's having-
options with a rear wheel drive car.
Our team's
Yeah.
having more trouble with the front wheel drive.
Probably because they're trying to drive it like a rear wheel drive and they're just, over driving.
Maybe it's
Well-
tends to loop.
Well, it only happened once.
I'm not talking accidents. I'm talking spins.
Oh,
You guys didn't spin so much with the rear wheel drive. You spin a good amount with the front wheel drive.
yeah, I think, yeah, it's a learning curve. I would say more so.
It's 4 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it now.
But
Now,
and rear wheel drive and front wheel drive, that's a conversation, but also you're talking about the difference between a mid-engined car and a
mhm,
front-engined car. And
Mhm.
Yeah, different.
No one really makes a rear engine car anymore. And mid-engine cars, they when you drive on the edge like that, they are unforgiving for stepping over the line.
Uh-huh.
MR2s, Boxsters, all of it. They get very punishing.
uh-huh.
I learned how to drive a bit, not like now, but a bit when I was younger in a second gen MR2. So it helps.
Yes. Great
Train.
cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so and that could be part of the thing is it's the Cayman is a much more precise tool and you cannot paint as broad of a picture as you would like with it. And Fiesta, absolutely.
Mm,
It's graffiti artist. Wow.
right?
Yes. Yeah. It's okay. I'm wearing a smock and I'm in a studio and I'm just slapping paint everywhere and it's hilarious.
That's right. Pollock who?
Yes.
No, but
Indeed.
it's fun. Just the challenge of driving, in between them is
Mhm.
kind of fun.
Yes. And my younger self hates me for this, but I'm getting to the point where I care less about speed and I do care more about fun.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We had a
That's been our whole thing.
we had a podcast where I announced that this may be my last year wheel to wheel.
Wow.
Maybe.
That's
Don't know.
dramatic. What brought that on?
Risk versus fun. My fun has always been turns, and I can do instruction, HPDEs. I can do time trials. I don't have to do wheel to wheel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not leaving. You guys are stuck with me. We got another 200 episodes or so before I'm wrapping this podcast up. But
Well, and that makes total sense because
and it's not written in stone.
no, but we have this just absurdist, up or out mentality, and must go faster, and that exists outside of racing.
Mhm.
You're
Bigger,
looked upon as a
faster.
weirdo if you don't want to get promoted at your job. Yeah, but I know any number of dozens of people like, no, I'm very happy where I am. I don't need to be in charge. I don't need to do anything. This gives me what I need out of this. And, racing from the get-go is supposed to be about enjoyment and what brings you joy and pleasure and what connects the dots between, your race weekend and all the mundane crap you have to do in between it to
Mhm.
your next race weekend.
Right.
So that makes total sense. And so, yeah, you're, you well, you're not questioning it, but people would question it. But it's just it's another version of the Porsche argument.
Yeah. And
Just
wheel to wheel's
not
fun.
tripping the trigger, man.
I mean,
Mhm.
I like doing it. I like going to the races. I actually like managing the team and helping the team structure. So, but I need to scratch the itch. I don't have to scratch it with wheel to wheel. I don't know.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. I've there's Alex Barton. He runs. He's got a Boxster that he built for, and I met him years ago when he was running with Battle Scarred Motorsports,
Mm.
and he has gotten to the point where he is completely content to build, set up, and run the car the whole weekend, and he doesn't need to drive it, and he still gets the same, if not more, joy from that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of people who like turning more than driving, and they just want to go turn the wrench.
Yes,
That's not me.
where do you choose to express, your outlet of I need to do this thing.
However, I'm not sure you got a chance to listen to the episode. However, we have chosen to work with a coach this year. So maybe I will get off of my plateau and improve, and that makes me happy. And then maybe I will stay, or Miss Vicki and I will both be working with the coach and see if we can get rid of some of the rough edges and maybe figure out what we've done. Because both of us can do the same lap over and over and over, but we don't get better. Well, Vicky's been getting better recently, but I've kind of been level for like 3 years, and it's kind of, there's
time
much
to
more.
We had,
is-
the
blow it
reality
up.
is though, is that Bill hasn't really engaged in racing in a long time. He's there, but I think he has moved on to a new bone to chew.
I can have 2 bones,
Yeah. So,
3 bones,
You
4
sound like my
bones.
dog.
Yeah.
I need all the bones. Give me all the bones.
That's right.
Especially if they're
So,
big. So we'll figure it out. It'll be fun.
yeah.
But since we
Well,
haven't seen you, I'm sorry.
You're talking about your recent infatuation with chess.
Yeah.
And so, yes, perhaps you're enjoying the strategy of, okay, how do I position this? Where do I take advantage of the pit stops? What talent pool do I have? What mechanical pool do I have? And what is my desired outcome? And how do I get there from here? And it's a moving target. You're trying to lead it the whole time.
And since we started, we've always been focused on trying to get people started. Like you guys were the 201 podcast and we were the 101 podcast. And, sometimes you guys go 301 and sometimes we go 201 and sometimes you guys go 101 and sometimes we fail at 101 and just do something stupid. But, that's how it rolls. So, if I can get more people in the car, great. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, podcasting, there's another one. We actually, about a year and a half ago, and again, on the odd chance that you don't know of the Everyone Racers podcast.
What podcast is this, Mental?
Yes, the Everyone Racers podcast. Hopefully, Bill will have a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
I think there might be. I think there might be a link. I don't think it's needed, but there's a link.
But we started. We were getting inundated with requests for guests, and hey, how much would you charge to endorse this product and that sort of thing. And we actually had to we just got on and stayed on after a recording and talked about what is it we want out of this podcast, because it started as one thing and then became another, and it kind of on its own, and we found ourselves going down a path that was not bringing us joy.
Right.
And so we adamantly refused a couple of things, and we've had people come back and say, or we've had people reach out and go, hey, we'd love to have these people on your show, and we look at it and go, it's not right for us. The brothers, the drag racing brothers that you guys had, that was a great episode for y'all, and we talked about that. We were just like, they're not a fit for what we do, and I think it was way better to have them on your show than ours, for both them and for you, because you guys did all kinds of great stuff with that. And I remember Uncle Dave was like, "Oh my God, Garage Heroes got the what were those guys' names? I forget the."
Wow, I'm blanking right now. Now you said what's their names, I'm like, oh
yeah.
blank.
But Uncle Dave knew them immediately.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, they got them a garage. How did they get those guys on Garage Heroes?
because you helped us.
Well, it was funny because the woman sent me back an email. She goes, "That is the nicest rejection email I've ever received. I'll be happy to reach out to
Yeah.
Bill and Vicki." And
Yeah,
we've had that. We've had a couple of weird ones come through, and I'm just like, nope, not our fit. And then the one we're really excited about is we just had these two guys. They're up near you guys because they're based out of Connecticut, but Race Setup Pro.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
they were coming on ours soon, and then we got
Yes.
tied up with the holidays.
Oh man, and they're great because they're racers.
Mhm.
And I say that as a, they get it. They understand it. This is not like ooh, we're going to make this program and we're going to retire off of it. They're like, I'm tired of being, well, not so much. They're like, I'm the guy that everyone always comes up to and ask about their race car setup. And if there was a way I could automate this, I could be in more than one place at a time. And so
Mhm.
they did that. And they were, oh man, we had them on the show. They were so much fun. They were so interesting.
Yep.
And that was exactly the kind of thing we want on this show. So
Yep.
it falls in line with what we wanted for our show now, and that has changed from what we started with.
Yeah.
And certainly racing's going to change from that. And there's probably a time in your development as a driver where that Cayman would have been too much car, and now okay, yeah, got it, it's perfect, it's a scalpel, I can carve through a
Can do
racetrack.
anything I want.
Ooh,
But it's not.
next. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys changed your podcast. We changed ours a little bit. We like getting people in. We like helping people get better. Those are kind of our two things. And as far as the businesses we go, because we do a lot more interviews than you guys do.
Mhm.
We don't take any money for it. We may
No.
do something as a trial to see if it's good for our listeners, or we ask them to give a discount to our listeners. That's it.
That, and there is something to be said about kind of recognizing who brought you to the dance, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And we didn't even ask for the Race Setup Pro. They just came out of the gate with, we'll offer this. And have you had a chance to look at it?
I have, because we had the Fire Laps guys on, and we were supposed to have them on the week after, and then schedules got weird. I think they got
Okay.
sick, and then I got sick, and then
Mm.
holidays came. So we're going to be like the just before next season. So they'll have one like every month for
Yeah.
like 6
It's
months.
yeah,
Good guys, though.
it's they're great guys, and it's a great product. It really, and it's not another, driving coach box. And so it's
Not an AIM
actually
solo. No.
Yeah, it is something to start helping you with how your car gets set up and provide you a database and then give you something to reference.
Mhm.
Last time at this track in these weather conditions, this was the setup and this was the result. And so I can start there as a baseline, but obviously I've changed as a driver over the time from the last time I ran this track to this one. So I will go in this direction and it will make suggestions and we will say how well that works. And then if you come back to it and say this suggestion didn't work, so it's a form of an interview loop provided in a software package.
Because I know this comes as no surprise to either one of you. I like my Excel spreadsheets. I know. You guys are
Yes,
sitting
he
down.
does.
But I
So
have
many
I have
spreadsheets.
all this data, but I don't have a good way to use it.
Yes.
Like I know all this stuff, but do I go look up at the last 6 times I was at NJP and the weather's totally different, or should I go to Thompson because the weather is the same as what it was at Thompson? Same, and this will help us a lot. So
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll be
It's funny. I am not a math person, never have been, most
Nope.
likely never will be. And I am not, and I have not been a spreadsheets person, but my job, what I do for actually paying the bills, working.
You mean it's not the
with-
podcast wealth that you guys are accumulating in the bank?
Oh, no, that all went on the Porsche.
Yeah.
But
Good luck.
which,
Good luck. You did buy a Porsche then.
hopefully everyone recognizes that's a joke because that Porsche is like my dog. It contributes nothing, but takes resources.
Mhm.
Much like a podcast.
Much like a podcast, except unlike my dog, the podcast at least brings wonderful people into my life. So, but how I do my job and the nature of my job is evolving, and I have been discovering joy in spreadsheets. And granted, like you want to talk about the 101 level, I'm like grade school level in Excel, but I have created I have a lot of Excel spreadsheets at work that I now use to, especially if I have to do math, I build a spreadsheet to do it because I cannot be trusted with math.
Come to the dark side, mental.
Hmm.
I can get you. I can get you to
Yes.
at least 301, if not grad school.
Well, one of the things, so, we host a large event 3 times a year. And
Mhm.
each, we invite, it ends up being about 5,000 people and, scattered across 80 different organizations. And they all have to go through processes, and it's all on time based. And there are things that I need and things that they need from me, and then things that we have to get from third agencies. And so I built a spreadsheet for the first time. I was in charge of this in 22, and it went through a couple of different people that have done the same position and came back to me with all kinds of even better modifications. And so now we have created this is the central point of contact for everyone to use. So our what we have been struggling with is version control. And but now we've got that in a central repository, and we have an agreed upon format that guarantees you always get the latest thing. And it's made everything smoother.
Yeah, it's version control is hard, especially with some of the restrictions you have with the DoD.
Yeah.
You can't use that. Oh,
No, I don't understand why I can't go to Google Docs.
No Google Docs, no Dropbox. I did find a Dropbox that the DoD is okay with.
Yeah. And the problem with that is then some of the because we work with some allies and they don't have access to it.
They don't have access.
That's always fun.
It's so much fun. So good. Yeah, it's a whole lot easier when I have a Google Doc that tells me what my next podcast is about. That's so much fun.
So you know what we should do?
What should we do, mental?
You take your mad spreadsheet skills, and we build this loose affiliation of amateur racing podcast, the FF podcast with Jaime and
Jaime's great.
The 99 Octane.
Yeah,
and
Blind Apex with Con.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Blind and 99 Octane and all of that, Apex adjacent. And we build a shared spreadsheet where we put in what we're talking about this week and what we talked about last week. And then we use that as promotion. So we just do each podcast just reaches in, grabs a random one, hey, thanks everybody for listening. And when you're done, go check out the Garage Heroes in Training, because they're going to be talking with Jeff and Tim from Race Setup Pro this week. Yeah. And we all just reference that spreadsheet. We update our own, episode list, and it gives us a chance to all, as a rising tide lifts all boats kind of self-promotion.
So I've got this will be cut, but here's the idea. We're all going to switch podcasts on April 1st and put them out, hosting the other one as the other one. So
that would be funny.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the podcast.
Well, now you just spoiled it.
No, he said he's going to cut it. It's all good.
Okay.
If you make me edit for your dribbles, I'm going to do one for mine.
There you go.
Since you're going to cut this,
yes.
If you're bored, go search for a podcast called Sin City Spin. Has nothing to do with cars.
Okay. Yes.
Just me and two of my smart ass friends making fun of stuff. Sorry. So here we go. Here's the edit. All right.
It didn't click, but that's fine. That's fine. If you think that works on a podcast, you're crazy. You don't.
No,
I know.
You've
never meant it. You've never edited a podcast yet.
Oh God! I just spent 2 days.
Oh no, I know what that hell is like.
Yeah, and honestly, having my buddy does he is very active in the tech scene here in Las Vegas. Jason LeDuc, he does a wonderful, and actually this is a money-making podcast called A Leader's Mindset. With Jason LeDuc. I was in the Air Force with Jason. We were stationed together like 3 times. He is a wonderful leader, a tech innovator. He's very active in the veteran scene. He's very active. The city of Las Vegas actually consults with him to do like incubation for tech companies and that sort of thing. And so when he started his business, it went one way, and now he actually is hired to interview other people for other mediums.
Oh, wow.
And he is hyper organized. He actually is an aerospace engineer. He has a T-shirt that he's had for years that says, "Actually, I am a rocket scientist," and it's
I
true.
have that shirt.
And so he has he actually went and got like one of the slate things.
Oh, the slate things.
When we did our show, he's like, "You're gonna thank me later." And he was doing the slate thing in everyone, and he was right. I absolutely sitting through all of it, because the video, the thumbnails, they all look the same.
Yep.
And being able to organize and label them made what would have been, a terrible event even, would have lasted even longer. But it's still, I'm learning about editing in Adobe, and it still took me
You're using Adobe?
2 days.
That's
Yes.
hard. Video
But,
or just audio?
Video.
Oh, yeah. I use
in
something
fact,
else.
here,
Adobe's hard.
This was us being a goofball on Saturday, so I'll send you that link. This is terrible podcasting, by the way, but there's the link.
It's all right.
for
We're
you
used to you
guys
doing
be
terrible
bored,
podcasts, Mental.
bored to tears on that.
Bored to tears.
But we
That's okay.
were
We could start talking about the King's Indian Defense if you want to get bored, Mental. I can do this.
we probably drank too much and came up with a terrible idea, and then we executed it. We filmed all day, and then I spent 2 days editing that.
I believe that the only mistake you said was probably.
And it's interesting that you mentioned chess, because I have been a terrible chess player for
come on in, Mental. Come on, let's play.
25 years now. And
Perfect. I played for one.
Yeah. Duolingo
Mhm.
has chess.
Do they?
Yes. So
Why?
in addition to my Spanish, I have, as part of my quest last year to, improve myself in areas where I'm weak, I've signed up for Duolingo's math and their chess. And literally the math is I'm still in like 4th grade, just, establishing a much better baseline, because I slept through a lot of math class and then I failed all of it in high school. So when I was in college, I literally had to take Math 100, which is, the no credit.
The pre, yeah.
A no credit class just to get myself through. And I avoided, I did all laboratory based science classes to avoid any calculus based or algebra based classes to get my degree.
Oh.
And so I'm trying to solve some of that, because I'm just not good. So I can only imagine that the chess classes on Duolingo that I'm taking are exactly the same level. I'm doing the chess equivalent of 2 + 2 + 2 =?
I highly recommend the Late to Chess podcast. It's made for people who didn't start when they were 4 years old.
All right. Late to Chess. And this
Two's
is
a number, because
and
the
this
cool
is
kids do that.
Podcast Heroes in Training, where we're just going to talk about every
Everything
other
else.
podcast we listen to other than our own.
Well, this one is my own, so it's fine.
Whoa! See, there we go. Did not know that. I'm
Yeah.
grabbing my phone and signing up for that.
Late
right
to
now.
Chess with the 2 is a 2, not as a TO, because,
All right.
cool kids
Yeah.
kind of
To
thing.
chess.
Vicky
Nice.
tapped out. She's like, nope, not doing it.
I don't need another job. That's what I told him. I got enough jobs.
She's like, how many jobs do you want me to have? I said, one less than me. Come on, let's play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's,
No, but
it's
I'm
a good
happy
time.
that he's doing it. I really am, because it's engaging him intellectually.
It helps my brain.
Yeah, he's always been very much into game theory
Mhm.
from the time I met him, and this is the new game theory.
It also
Subscribed.
helps. Thank you. Don't forget the thumbs up. Anyway,
Well, but that probably plays into where you are emotionally and mentally with racing.
Could be.
You know what? I'm now moved in from just wrestling the car around the track. Because even if I'm not Lewis Hamilton, so let's not say Lewis Hamilton.
let's
Even
just
if
say
I'm
I'm
not-
not Lewis Hamilton. Just for instance, to make everybody
Yeah,
else
it's
feel good.
not Lando Norris level
No.
of skill, but you understand how to get a car around a racetrack. And there was a time when you didn't.
Yeah.
So now,
Not that long ago, actually.
so it does not hold for you the same mystery that
Yeah.
it
I think
held.
the
And so,
improvement part, too.
go back to game theory is, okay, I can get a car around a racetrack. How do I get 4 drivers in a car
Mm-hmm.
that we built around a racetrack faster than everyone else, or more accurately, more laps than everyone else? Yeah,
Mhm.
there's engagement to that.
Yeah. And when you got the shiny squirrels that we have, you know, they don't listen as good as my chess pieces do. If I put the piece on that square, it goes exactly there. If I tell Vicki to do something, she says, did anybody hear anything? What?
Mhm. But then she has to go make dinner, and it's awesome.
It is
Yeah.
spectacular. You know, our paddock game is top notch.
It well and truly is. I think the last time I occupied the same racetrack, was pit race a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I think Vicki made you her bean thing, and then we found out you were eating meat. So we were like, oh well, wasted our
Yeah,
time
but
on a vegetarian
it
thing.
was still a
Yeah.
great thing. I tried vegan for a while. I wasn't, that I just didn't like meat. I was trying to do it for environmental reasons, and
Mhm.
I gave it a good, probably 2.5, 3 year run. And
You
then,
did?
Tim Burr ruined it for me.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you did?
Just,
That sounds like
I
Tim
was,
Burr.
it was Sonoma. And I left Sonoma. Tim Burr doesn't live too far from that track, and I was on my way home. And he had everybody over at his place, and he had spent the entire weekend smoking a tri-tip, and it smelled so great. I'm like, well, we're done with this.
So one of my hobbies that I've picked up since we have seen each other, because it's been way too long. Was it 1 year or 2 years? I don't know. So I do. You know how there's 3 years? Man,
Seriously,
That's a long time.
yeah, I
it feels
didn't.
forever.
I went to New Hampshire last year, 2025.
Yeah, we didn't.
And that was my only East Coast event.
So you were
I-
there for when we did Top Gun?
That was Pittsburgh. That was when I wrecked the Mazda 3.
Yeah. So you were doing Stadler and Waldorf, and we were doing
Yes,
Top Gun.
the Muppets. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that was.
And so
we could have hooked those two up
that
and
was
made
2
a
years ago.
spectacular one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Mhm.
so my new hobby, because I don't have enough, I mean, is
Isn't it ski season? Doesn't
it
that
is
keep you occupied?
my knees have retired from ski season.
Yeah.
Okay.
My new hobby is it's not competitive barbecuing like some of our friends have done, but it is semi-competitive with judges, different steaks, either preparations or cuts.
Ooh.
So since you are no longer a veggie person, which I
Mhm.
highly commend you for, because I am a second level vegetarian, I eat things that eat vegetables.
Yes.
You have the open invite to you give me 3 days notice, maybe 4, and I will have multiple steaks prepared multiple different ways, and you get to choose which one you
Oh,
want.
yeah. I am working through some diet well, not issue. Last year I had starting actually at that race at Pittsburgh that year. That was 2020, I want to say 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. That weekend, that was my third race and my fourth wreck.
Yeah, you were on
And-
a streak there for a little bit.
Yeah, and so I spent a lot of 24 getting a battery of medical evaluations and tests,
Okay, that's good.
and just some other physiological issues that I was having, and it was just one of these, get over yourself and get things checked out. So
They did a brain scan and didn't find anything.
yeah, I had 2 MRIs and 2 MRIs and then 2 CAT scans. And there is a pinched series of nerves in my neck. And
Ooh.
I was getting some, I had it, and then we made some diet, but I was getting benign positional vertigo. Just would kind of be all dizzy for no foreseeable known reason. And I was doing some home remedies on that, but I had to make some diet and exercise changes, lifestyle changes. And so that has cured that. But now just in recent days, it's been kind of coming back a little bit. Different inputs are causing it. And I have a series of exercises that I have to do. So now I'm glad that I'm not vegan, because I am retraining for the Vegas half marathon. And it is, I am much more sensitive to what I'm eating than I was in the past. And so I'm having to really kind of like, okay, I need protein at this time and I
Mm-hmm.
need carbs at these times and I need this much and that much. And I'm having to pay attention to all of that. And if you're vegan or vegetarian, good on you. And I hope it lasts for as long as it possibly can. I would not be able to function at the physical level I function at right now with this. I just,
Wow.
um, yeah, the things that I can't eat anymore and the things that I can't do anymore, and still try and maintain a level of physical activity that I want to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is you actually have to start taking care of yourself.
Yes, but it's more
He
more
is the
detail.
youngest
Yeah.
person on this podcast right now. So,
But the third best looking. So
well,
Uh,
definitely second. I'll go with second for sure. I want to stay
I
out of the bathtub tonight.
yeah, but yeah, and I would tell you that I've taken care of myself for a while, but it involves so much more detail than it used to.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to like, oh my God, all right, I feel like crap. What did I eat yesterday? So I actually like, if I'm not 100%, but I try and keep a food diary and an exercise diary. Okay, I need a spreadsheet really. And,
I can
and
do that for you.
start relating, what did what and how long was the delay from that eating that to this effect kind of a deal. So yeah, it's, it's annoying. It was
Mental,
just a
just
whole lot easier when I could stay up all night, wake up in the morning, drink 2 cups of coffee, smoke 3 cigarettes, and then go till noon. And I can't do that anymore.
just tell me what you want, Mental. I'll take care of you. You want a spreadsheet?
So
I will
what's
get you
the
a
ideal
spreadsheet.
diet for you now?
So with my running, I try to. My wife actually makes these really great little breakfast sandwiches on English muffins and with spicy chorizo and cheese and all that kind of stuff. So I will have one of those before I go to my morning workout, and then for the longest time last year, right up until like November, I deliberately would just eat. I would try to eat a salad, just a salad, maybe like a ham salad or something for lunch. Because anything else, I would just start literally nodding off at my desk at 2 o'clock. My job is very sedentary, which is a challenge as well. And so now I have to eat very light. So I eat a salad. But then when I started my running training again, I was just weak. I just felt physically incapable. So I've had to up my protein. So now I eat a salad with a can of tuna dumped on it every day for lunch. And then I try not to have like heavy complex carbs um, with before 7 o'clock. So because I'll have some sugar, not much, but a little bit of sugar, and I try not to use any artificial sugars. I try to just really just regular sugar. I drink the Mexican Cokes with the cane sugar, and that's really the only sodas I take in. And so, and then I will have some sort of protein augmentation in the afternoon. And I have found that is really, I feel a lot better when I have to go, especially for a distance run. If I adhere to that schedule. So that's what I'm doing right now. And we'll see how that plays out. Cause now I am making it's a shift. I need to make a jump where I'm starting to put in some bigger mileage. So tomorrow is a 7 mile day. I've got to get to 13 before February. And I want to try and maintain that, but to confuse things further, I'm going back into weightlifting. I'm doing yoga nowadays, and I am working with a myofascial specialist.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, she was working with Ranger Road, so
Mm-hmm.
she was doing massages, and I've never been a massage person. I don't particularly
That's
like
different though.
it is, and that was my thing. Is I was resistant to it because I don't like
Mhm.
people touching me, and which is hilarious because I married a Hispanic and now we hug. I hug everybody, but I just don't like, people without my last name rubbing on me.
Mhm.
And that's it. It's
You
a
didn't
completely
complain the
different
last
type of
time we were
massage.
together, Mental.
Yeah, it's certain people. But
I'm picky.
so this was last year, or I'm sorry, not even last year, 2 years ago at Sonoma race. And I was having some, uh, range of motion issues. And she did. It's just like literally just a fingertip on this nerve and moving around. And it was impressive. And she was doing it for a lot of the veterans and it worked. And then she was at the race again
Mhm.
and she did it again because I've started having some shoulder pain and some other phantom nerve pain. So yeah, it's an immensely more complicated process. I am no longer a Indy Miata. I am now a 68 Porsche and I require a lot of attention and hard to get parts and I'm broken. So
You just want somebody to
So-
massage your
So the
Webers.
idea of myofascia
Mhm.
massages is, as it was explained to me, is that as you get older, sometimes your muscles, I wouldn't say they harden, but they end up restricted in your body. And
Yes.
what this does is it goes in and when these type of massages go in and they break up these fibers that are in your muscles that have kind of hardened over time and they're kind of like really small.
Mhm.
And once you feel that release, you can't unfeel it. So, you can actually after you go through these processes and once you know what it feels like, you can actually start maneuvering and manipulating and stretching your body. And then you can feel a tight center in your body. And then you would just keep pressing into it with your stretches. And it's an incredible feeling because it won't release right away, but after you keep pressing on it, you can almost manipulate your skeleton from the inside of your body to press on those inner muscles. If once you feel like a hardened pressure point,
Yes.
it's an incredible feeling once they release and then all your motion starts to come back. But
And there is a tendency of humans. And when this won't move this way, the
mm-hmm,
rest of your body engages
mm-hmm,
to compensate for that. And
yes.
you're you're off balance, which
Mm-hmm.
just leads to more problems.
Mm-hmm. If you
So
really think about it, most of your pain is soft tissue,
mhm,
or it's created in your bones from soft tissue.
yes. And I have been ignoring pain and ignoring things in my body for decades. And
Mm-hmm.
because well, I'm not going to fix that. It works. I
Yeah.
just do this. I just move like that. I just do these things and I can't,
I'll just
I
do a
can't,
quick stretch and take a hot shower, and out the door you go. But
not even that,
yeah.
I'm just, if you guys remember, when I had the limp forever
Mm-hmm.
because I had a bone spur digging into the nerve of my Achilles tendon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still running. I was running marathons when I was
Ugh.
doing this. And then the next day, that foot would not move.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally like, okay, this is, quit just trying to butch your way through this and go see a specialist. And the doctor, when I finally get that removed, the doctor was like, "Oh, that's the biggest bone spur I've ever seen."
Ah!
I'm like, "Well, did you save it?" He goes, "Oh man, no, I should have. Dang."
I could
So
put a
it
hole in
is,
it and carry it around my neck.
yeah.
like
So
a shark's tooth.
yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to undo a lot of habits of, my childhood and
Mhm.
my military career. You don't you don't open up to pain. You
Mhm.
don't,
Nope.
and it's not even like admitting it to other people. You don't admit it to yourself. Just
No.
you don't hurt. Harden up. Do what you got to do. And there's a time for that, but that time is not when you're 55 years old and trying to run another half marathon and strap yourself into a race car 6, 7 times a year. It's that is no longer the time if you want to grow old and healthy. I've got two guys I work with that are older than me that are diabetic, and one of them just absolutely ignored it, like just white knuckled through it. And finally was having an issue and he went in there and the doctor was checking out his foot and the doctor was poking his foot and he goes, "Oh yeah, I haven't felt anything in that foot for years." They end up having to cut his foot off. And
No.
he's got a prosthetic leg now. And his wife, just absolutely wonderful woman, just lost it. You listen, from now on, you're going to start eating right. You're just, okay, I'm sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry, and just had to get him over himself. And, the other guy who, is very honest about his diabetic. He goes, once every 2 weeks, I go to a Korean nail parlor and I have them do my toes. I get a pedicure because they will notice anything wrong with my feet, and that's an indicator of something that is going wrong with my diabetes. And that's how he keeps track of that. And this guy was a FB 111 crew chief for years. These are tough, macho kind of people, and so to meet people like that, this admitting that something is going with your body is no longer a weakness. And in fact, being able to recognize that and address it is a strength.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's kind of one of these, I've got these multiple influences in my life that are, it's still, despite all of that, it is a hard habit to break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I sent you a link in the chat, Mental, for a book.
I did see that for an Amazon product. Yay!
I don't know if you're familiar with them. They sell books.
Oh, excellent. No, I have to look
Got
that
a
up.
couple other things too, but
Yeah.
they have it as a audio book if you want.
If you guys get out here, well, especially if you come to Sonoma, I'll introduce you to Jessica Beeching. So her bit is it's junkyard massage because she grew up in a parts yard and her dad even came up with the name for it. So yeah. And what's funny is she is into the myofascial, the release, and she'll set up her table at the Sonoma races and instantly is usually booked up. Dr. Mary Harris will go in there. Corey was having horrible back pain, during the Sonoma race. And he was like getting to where he couldn't walk. And she would you could tell when he would get off the table, he would walk so much better. So yeah, there's something to all of that.
Well, since you brought it up for us coming out there.
Yes.
June 10th through 14th.
Yes.
I have a chess tournament.
Oh.
And Miss Vicki will be bored tearless if I go to a chess tournament.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Chess tournament here in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
That is amazing. Give me just 1 second here.
There's two. So that's one window.
Okay.
And I figure I can bash my head against the board and Miss Vicki can go have fun with you and then we'll catch up in the evening.
All right. So June, let us look at the schedule because you said June
10 through 14.
10 through 14. Okay. Vicki, you need to reach out to Chris and Vicki or Jan and Tom Webb because that is the regular High Plains race in Colorado. The regular 8-hour. So fly here with Bill.
I can drop Bill and go catch up with the gang.
And I'll hand you off to my Vicki, and you and my Vicki can go do all the nerdy stuff and go to the museums and go to the casinos and go to the shows. And then that Thursday, we'll drive to Colorado for the race.
Because the other one is July 31st through August 2nd.
July 31st through August 2nd is terrible for me.
Okay. Obviously, we're doing the other one.
Well, no, doing both, but
I'm only going to go once.
My wife will be bored to tears because that is red flag, and that is our big one. And I will be working 12-hour days.
All right, so pencil us in for 10 through 14 plus a couple days.
I have to tell you, I have never stood next to another Vicki.
Yes, you have.
Never. No.
100%.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Why were you called V1 and she was called V2?
Oh, that's right. There was another Vicki.
You played volleyball with her.
Yeah, it was like when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what fun it is when you're playing volleyball and you tell Vicki to go get the ball and there's two of them.
Yeah, it was a hot mess.
It
was a hot mess.
And they would just run into each other, bonk their coconuts. It was great. And then I said, "How about you be V1 and you be V2?" And she's like, "Why?
We are very rare."
I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Why? Why should I be V2?" I said, "Because I came up with the idea, and if I make her V2, it's not going to go over well." And she's like, "Fair." Mm-hmm. So you were talking to V1, and that was V2.
Yeah.
And those situations, you have to come up with equally complementary names. Like we Air Force culture, everything's call signs, and we have a Rocky that is working in our office, and she is every bit of 5 foot. And right up until the beginning of this year, we had another Rocky that he was and he's 6'2", and and so now we have to. It's Big Rocky and New Rocky.
Well, at least you didn't go Rocky and Bullwinkle, so that would probably
Yes,
would not have gone over well. Well, it sounds like we've got a good
made
plan.
that joke because
Yeah.
she's a flying squirrel, but yeah,
Oh, there you go. Well, it sounds like we've got a plan to get together for 2026,
this is great. And
which
then
was the subtle reason
Vicky
you're
gets a
wrong.
new racetrack under her belt.
I know, and I don't.
You know,
Okay.
yeah, I'm actually looking forward to 2026. Hopefully, it won't be so chaotic, or not as chaotic, or we're more prepared for the chaotic. Um,
I saw one of the memes. It was, nobody say 2026 is my year. Just kind of walk in quietly. Don't touch
yeah,
anything. Just.
I saw that. I don't want any New Year's. I just want a good used one, like a 1995 or like a
Yeah,
2000
yeah,
would be great.
Yeah.
I'm okay with no more New Year's. I want a used one,
yeah, yeah.
Low mileage though.
low mileage,
Or just well maintained.
Yeah.
well maintained.
A
Yeah,
a
I'll
new
be
to
good
me
with that.
year. How about that?
A new
A
to
new
me
to
year.
me
That's a
year.
great
Yeah,
one. Yes.
That's right.
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm going to go into much more training this year, and we didn't open up our garage until like August last year. Um, because
Mhm.
as you know, Bill lost his mom, and my sister got diagnosed with cancer, and we had some other things that were going on, and just the capacity just wasn't there. We had a friend of ours, well, Jeremy, loaned us the race truck.
Mhm.
While and then right around August, I started putting the Honda back together, and we got it. We ended up running with Jeff and Chris. I mean, Jeff and Eric on our team, and they really helped me out. There were still things that were wrong that I missed, like bolts that I thought were there or were tightened and weren't. But it came back from the shop, and it's really kind of hard to do. You can do all the nut and bolt, and I even had Jeremy do the nut and bolt, and it still wasn't right. But
Mhm.
it was the first run after like a hit. So, but
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
we got it all squared away, and so the car will be in much better condition when we put it back on the track the second time. We have a big checklist. Uh, but then I'm just going to start going out and go for training. I'm just going to start training.
Yeah.
So,
And then, and training is great too. And then just some of it's just repetition. Do the same
hmm
thing. Do it again. Do it again. Do it
yeah.
again. Do it again.
Well, we don't have pit in the early spring, so we're going to find a place to fill. We got to
Mm,
fill that hole now.
yeah. Well, we'll see. Because I know they were
I think they pushed it out to Ohio, that
they
racetrack,
did.
that spring racetrack.
That is, I'm very excited that they're going to Mid Ohio.
hmm
I love Mid Ohio.
It's a fun little track.
It is actually that one's in the fall. I think the spring race is Nelson.
Mhm.
hmm
And where'd it go? I'm looking at the schedule right now. So see
I'm not
Thunderdale
sure
Road
Mid Ohio
America.
and Lemons are going to get along.
I don't I say yeah, so June is Nelson's at the end of June, and then I think Mid Ohio is April, actually, now that I say this out loud. Yes, Mid Ohio, April 12th. I love Mid Ohio. I
Mhm.
do. I've had many a great race at Mid Ohio. One of my friends a few years ago, like retired and bought a tract of land that backs up to Mid Ohio on the backside, right at the where Madness is. You can walk through the woods at his house and come out right over there and hear the cars and
Nice.
everything. So, and it just, Mid Ohio has been his spiritual home, and his wife and her daughter is now got accepted to Miami. She's there in the physics program, and all of them race. They race all the time, and they have a great time doing all of that. And yeah, I think it's going. I asked to work that race as well. I know Eric has a ton of work to do with all of the judges that he has and getting everything balanced and keeping everything new and fresh. So I am hoping to get out there for that race because I do truly enjoy being at Mid Ohio. It's Mid Ohio reminds me of VIR and
What?
Road Atlanta and Road America, and even we mentioned Willow Springs, tracks that weren't designed to mimic turns of other tracks. They were just old tracks where somebody kind of looked at the land and went, the road should go that way. We'll figure it out. And Mid Ohio has that feel. It's been there forever. It's Mid Ohio is what gave us Dale.
hmm
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he got his start parking cars at Mid Ohio, and then he'll tell you the tale of a guy came through and parked his car. Hey, you can't park there. It's okay. No, it's not okay. Guy told me you can't park there. All right. I'm going to get in trouble if you park there. Move your car, park it over there. And the guy came up to him later and said, do you know the guy you yelled at? Yeah. He goes, well, that's the guy that owns the track. He goes, oh, well, I've had fun doing this job. He goes, nope. The guy likes you. I said you wouldn't let him get away with anything. So he knows that you're keeping everybody else in line. And then he ended up racing cars out of there for a little while and then moved into what he does now.
Dale's
So, yeah.
awesome.
So I would encourage everyone to give Mid Ohio a shot. That's a fun old school track. All right. 26 National Open.
Yeah,
This
we've
looks
been there a
awesome.
couple times. It's awesome.
All
Yeah.
right.
Unless it's raining.
Yeah. All right. It's at the Westgate. Your chess tournament's at the Westgate. You're going to love the Westgate. That's where, if you have not seen the movie Elvis, but that's where, when it was at the time, the Hilton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I don't
they
think
lean
Vicki's ever
hard into
been.
their Elvis heritage at the Westgate.
I don't think Vicki's ever been to Vegas.
What?
Serious?
You're missing out. We've got all kinds of great museums. We got the Punk Rock Museum, the Atomic Testing
Food.
Museum, the Mob Museum. The food is great.
Mm-hmm.
There's great food in the casinos. There's also great food nowhere near the casinos. It depends on what you want.
I plan on having a ratio of at least 1-to-1 Mexican food. Today's I'm there.
Oh,
At least 1-to-1, maybe more.
Quite easy to do.
I know. I've
In
been
fact,
there.
where you are, the Westgate, because it's not on the strip. Yeah. You.
I don't have to stay there. That's just where the game.
Oh,
is.
okay. Yeah. Do you know where you're staying?
Well, I mean, I can. Don't.
Oh, no, the
don't-
Westgate's a wonderful property. You will not be disappointed staying at the Westgate.
Casa de Mental is much more fun though.
Casa de Mentals is still going on 6th year of
Renovation.
our 6-month renovation.
Okay. Well, I've seen you work on cars. I expect no less.
Fair. Yeah. Mhm.
The only thing difference is you can't lose a bolt underneath your house. Well, you probably could.
Yeah. Yeah. You underestimate my ability to lose things.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, this sounds like 26 is already off to a better start than 25 because we're going to go bother mental this year.
I wouldn't say you're bothering me, Bill.
That's okay.
We are due to start traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's great. And, it's one of those things too, where as much as I love racing, maybe your life shouldn't center around it. You get those, alternate pursuits. Yeah, absolutely. You come out here, be a foodie, be a booze hound, be a history nerd. There's all kinds of, if you hate cities, there is wonderful hiking, in every direction. If you're a video game nerd, you come out here. I always tell everybody, the new season of Fallout came, and the video game starts at the Pioneer Saloon. That's a real place. It's about 45 minutes from my house. It's in fact, took the whole gang there when they came out for the Las Vegas rally last year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't done a rally out west either, my dear.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, there's the Colorado rally, and you've got multiple friends in Colorado.
We do. We do. Indeed.
We are going to end up having to go to Colorado. We have too many people that we know out there now.
Yeah. Yeah, for the Las Vegas rally, it was kind of accidental, but it was hilarious. Dean Halter and his brother Daryl both sent their rally cars to my house. So I had a 66 Oldsmobile Tornado and a 77 Ferrari 408 in my driveway. And
you must have a lot of driveway for one of those cars.
yeah, that Tornado is so cool. If it did not have black interior, I would have tried to find a way to keep it. That was a great car.
And there's a perfect example of
And
bad decisions for mental.
Yeah. The funny thing is now I have established if there's something dumb in the parking lot, everyone comes to my desk and goes, "What was that you drove in?"
Oh, shoe fits, man.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. Well, I know you're going to go run off to work out, and we're only halfway to a new record. So I'm thinking we just, instead of going for the record, we're going to go for part 2.
Oh, okay.
So
say we could put a bow on this one right here. But
we could. We might. Oh, you know what we could do? We could do a live one in June.
Ooh, now that's a great idea. I've got friends with podcasting studios, or we go even full nerd and we do it next to the pool at the Westgate.
Whatever you want, sir. You have home turf. You get to name the place. Your venue is yours.
Yeah, we will find just a super cool place to do an episode. That's a great idea.
We could come out the weekend before and we could go to Vegas Raceway. We could do anything we want.
Yes, absolutely.
Weekend before, sorry.
So what is the weekend before?
Like 6th or something.
The June. Okay, so yeah, you guys are coming out. So yeah, 13. Oh, the weekend before is New Jersey. You guys sure about that?
Oh, the weekend before, yeah, we're going to leave after Jersey.
Okay. All right.
We didn't say we were smart mental. We just said we were doing it.
No. All right. So you get out here on a Monday. All right. That'd be great. Okay.
Indeed.
Well, or stay a little bit longer because, we race
we could go long.
13th and 14th, and then Vicki and I can come back from Colorado and, it'll be fun.
Yeah, my brain should be pudding by the end of this.
Which is just perfect for Vegas. So
exactly. Let's make dumb decisions and not be mentally smart. Okay, this is good. This won't cost me money at all.
Yeah, exactly. We built a whole economy on that one. We built a lifestyle on that in Las Vegas.
100%. How much do you want to spend? As much as you want to spend. We have the technology.
Exactly. Yeah.
Precisely.
This is great. I will send you because you need more podcasts, but I'll send you a link to a podcast about the mob in Las Vegas. It's 3 seasons, and then you can go to the museum and you'll learn all about it. And we can go have a dinner at Oscar Goldman's or Oscar.
I was gonna say $6 million man, dude.
Yeah, Oscar Goodman. I always make that. Oscar Goodman's restaurant at the Plaza, his steakhouse there, and yeah,
Oscar Goldman, a really good steak it's too. Very different from Oscar Goodman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one's $6 million, but the other one probably more.
Way more, absolutely. Yeah. So he, lawyer to the mob, and then he was the mayor. Then his wife was the mayor, and now he's a business owner, and yeah.
Vote early, vote often.
Yes. Well, and it's funny because, it's easy to develop an attitude on him. And then you listen to him on this podcast and it's just, darn it, if he is not the most charming guy. You just can't help but like him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed. Mental, plug the podcast one more time, just so we have it.
Well, thank you. So we are Everyone Racers podcast, which, as Bill mentioned, the 101 version of this. And really, we're not even that anymore. Our whole thing now is just make a well-informed bad decision, because between myself, Chris Abbott, his wife, Chrissy Matura, and Tim Burr, we have made a lot of dumb decisions, and we're not even close to being done with those dumb decisions. And we learn lessons from those bad decisions, and we pass those lessons on to you.
But you don't pass them on to yourself, mental.
Oh, no. I make completely new bad decisions.
Well, I thought you were on your second lap on a couple of them.
Oh, no. I actually broke even as far as projects, because I did shed some projects, but then I picked up another one. So, we're working on that. I'm still working on less projects, more toys.
There you go. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, always great mental. Thank you.
Thanks for reaching out. And I sincerely, you guys look great. I hope you have a wonderful and happy New Year. Stay warm up there, because that looks miserable. Some of the weather reports cold. I'm seeing. Yes. And if you haven't already told your Clemson employee this, you ask them, do you know where you buy lingerie for a pig?
Weston,
Fredericks
do you know where?
Clemson.
Oh, very nice. That one's for you, Weston.
That's right, because it was originally an agricultural school. So we just, growing up in that area, you never miss a chance to make a crack.
Nope, not at all. Indeed, sir. Well, thank you, mental. Always fun.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you guys both.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
All right.